You're listening to SM Media, the home of exclusive West of Scotland Football League content. Hi there, and welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media West of Scotland Football Show. I'm Scott McPike. It's a pleasure as always to be your host. I'm delighted to welcome my guest in this week's episode. It's a pleasure to welcome back onto the show, Mark MacKay.
Hi Scott, thanks for having us once again.
It's a pleasure. How you been?
Good mate, good. Starting to miss football massively now, so got a couple of wee things that I'm helping with my mate's Saturday morning team and stuff at the moment just to get me back out and about, and then hopefully sort of a turn of the year. It's never nice because you're watching results and looking at teams wanting them to get beat, unfortunately, but to see if you can maybe get a wee opportunity back in, but unfortunately that's football. It's heavy. I'm not the only person that's probably sitting trying to get back in, so and I won't be the first or the last to do that either, I wouldn't imagine.
Nah, definitely, but you'll get back in, no bother, mate. I firmly believe that. Well, we obviously did the prediction show at the start of the season. I was saying to you off air, I went and watched it back today and kind of refreshed my memory about some of the predictions. Obviously, me and you done in particular. With the exception of one or two, we've been pretty good.
I know we have, which is I remember when we done it, and I remember some of the athlete boys texting me going, "Oh, thanks very much, and hi, brilliant," and stuff like that. And V James at the campus line said the same, but I think we looked at a lot of facts. So don't get me wrong, there's been surprise packages in that as
Absolutely.
well. Auchinleck sitting 10th. I know there's loads of games in hand, and there is big things that have changed, and some managers have changed. Maybe I think Ryan Caddish was in a job for a couple of weeks and then took another job, and
Mhm.
things are still to settle down. You now got January, February, March, but it's very hard now to get a run of games with the weather. Sometimes I know a lot of clubs are doing the Astro route now, and their games could be on, which gives them a slight advantage if you're playing week after week after week. But I think there's going to be still loads of twists and turns. I'm sure I'd St Cadoc's not to do too well, as I see they're sitting 7 points off the top with two in hand. So maybe maybe Brendan and B Martin Fells will not be talking to me too much, but maybe it was a stick it up in the changing room wall and give him a wee bit of ammunition. I'll go down that route
Yeah,
rather than anything else.
I think the bad ones we had. I think you had St Carrick's to finish relegation. I had Benburg to finish relegation, and they're sitting second and fourth. And I think one of those. I think I maybe had. I'm trying to think off the top of my head in the third division. I might have had Bells Hill not to do well, and I think they're sitting top, comfortably top of the league. I think they've only lost one game, but again, it is, and as you say, there's a lot of changes. There's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of signings and things like that, and there's been a lot of busy action over the past week. And I think we're probably better getting into it kind of right away. Premier Division, I think a statement win for Clydebank at home talking Auchinleck Saturday. 2-1 home win. Hodge and Lee Gallagher with the goals for Clydebank. Obviously, you see, it keeps them 17 games they've played in 37 points. And there's a lot of teams in behind them, obviously, so it's going to be tight all the way to the end of the season. But I think that's a huge result for Clydebank in terms of what they want to do, what the ambitions is. That is their big result. I think that's going to give them a bit of optimism that they can do this.
Yeah, definitely. I think even Duty, I think Falk are on 22 points, but I'm sure they've got some games in hand, a lot of
Hmm.
games in hand as well. And if they win their games in hand, which is, you know yourself as well as I do, in the Premier League, it's very hard to go to sometimes win three, four, 5 games in a bounce because of the quality of some of the sides. But Auchinleck in 10th, 20 points, 17 off the lead, and played 14 games, yes, still obviously three in hand in Clydebank, but only one in hand on St Cadoc's on 30 points. So they would still be 7 points behind if they won their game in hand. So it's certainly an open league. I think we looked at that and I think we all picked different winners. I think Bees was one of them. The boy Divers at Bees is doing really, really well, scoring goals for Renfrew, and there's always that can they make the step to the next league sort of a thing. But um, it's going to be a really, really interesting league. Really, really interesting. We said that at the start. We thought it was maybe one from 3 or 4 to to win it. And probably when you're looking at it, probably 3 from 5 or 6 to probably sucked in and go down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a monumental win for Clydebank, and I think obviously next result we'll talk about Irvine Meadow nil, St Carrick's 3. Two sides in very different fortunes. Obviously, St Carrick's now up to second. I've been very impressed with the way they've been going about their business. McLaughlin, McHugh, and Monroe, and they just keep winning games. And as you say, they're firmly putting themselves in the picture to potentially challenge, and they just need to keep it going. I think St Carrick. I think they'll be. I think Martin was on a few weeks ago, and he was saying it's just about building on results, and they're certainly doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Clean sheet. It's
Mm.
the only person in the top division this year with a clean sheet and that week of fixtures. It's massive.
Yeah,
You keep clean sheets at any level, you win games. So now obviously Martin came to a right good background in the level he was at, and he's obviously I questioned it at the start, but whether that would he would get it straight away and it would just transfer over. But what it seems to be doing really, really well. Young manager, which is good. It wasn't or give somebody an old timer who's been in the block 5 and 6 times. Brendan at St Cadoc's took a bit of a gamble, took a very young, inexperienced at this level boy. By all accounts, it could pay right off.
it could, yeah. And I think obviously the other side of that coin is Irvine Meadow, another defeat. They're obviously really, really struggling at the bottom. New managers, Ben's obviously taking the step up. I see the past few days a lot of their players have been added to the transfer list, some by choice and things like that. I think it is just a case of I'm not saying they're completely down yet because I think Ben's a good manager and he could still get his players in, but I think they're now at a stage where they just need to kind of freshen it up a bit and see if they can build to look even at next season and just try and get up as quickly as possible because I think they're really going to struggle.
It's sometimes maybe not the worst thing that I have a inkling of next season already, right? If we're
Yeah.
going to go down, who do we keep? And then you're not trying to do it in a short 6, 8 week period. They're sort of a cast adrift a little bit at the moment. I know there's still loads and loads of points to play for, but they're sort of not even at double figures yet after Christmas. And points, which is very, very tough. It's also not been great for them down there. They've maybe lost some players and turnover of players and maybe not replaced with the quality.
Mhm.
So it's hard because it's a big club, isn't it? And you never like to see big clubs struggle, to be honest.
No, and I do I think Ben's the right guy to go in there and get, as I say, will get time because of obviously he's been there for a while. So I do think that is the kind of road they should be going down at this point. But I do like Ben. I do hope he succeeds. So I'm very intrigued to see what kind of happens if they bring more players in the next few weeks. But interesting result. Bees Juniors won. Hurlford United won. Obviously, Bees. I think that's only their second draw of the season. Obviously, they've got a lot of games to make up. Hurlford again, good point for them. Ali Love scoring a late equaliser. Who do you think will feel better about that result?
I think if anybody goes to beat and gets a point or gets anything, I think you go to be they were runaway winners last year. They end up and they were well worthy winners. And
Mm.
obviously, I said about the boy divers, and they've had a few wee changes here and there. But as you say, they still got they seem to be the New York and like this year, doing hundreds of games in hand, and they need to try and go on a run. You would always say, "Oh, prefer the points on the board because of the teams running about," and certainly in that league. But Huddersfield will take it. If you'd asked them, probably first came back after Christmas, couple of boys, maybe just the weather and various bits and pieces. You know what it's like. You want to run a game, so I think if you'd have said to Huddersfield before the game, you'll go to Beath, you'll get a one each. They'd have snapped their hand off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a massive result. Pollock won, Glenafton 2. Pollock obviously the goalkeeper sent off early on for I think handling outside the box. I think was what I was told. Gary Fraser scored for Glenafton. Pollock then equalised and Michael Moffat scored the winning goal. I've been really impressed with Glenafton since Ryan's went in. I watched them against Clydebank. I thought they were very well organised. I think Glenafton will be fine. I think the right man's in there, and I think he's setting them up to make them hard to beat. And Pollock will obviously be thinking if it was 11 men would have been a different story. I've heard David Mark had a really good game in goals. I think saved a lot of chances in the first half. I just think Glenafton have been very, very good since Ryan's went in.
Ryan Stevens comes to a big name, doesn't he? What they will be, they'll be very well drilled in set pieces for them against. I think, even though it was 10 men, I think the goal was sort of at 88, 89 minutes, if I remember right. It was sort of a late on, so they were happy to keep going and pushing and pushing. Yeah, sometimes that happens at Ireland and you get caught, but he's went to Pollock sitting seventh in the league. I think they've got a couple of games in hand as well. They can take them right up the league as well if they were to go and win it, win their games as well. But as I say, it's a great result for him. I think if he goes to these sort of places and picks up points, it proves that they're on the right trajectory to get back up the table. Obviously, win their games in hand, or however their points are sitting at the moment. They're another one. Only played 13 games. Some have played 17. So they've got, as you say, plenty of time to pick up points that's required.
Do you think with Paul, Stuart will maybe have a concern about the home form, because you just look kind of down the results, and they've lost. I think they've lost a lot more goals than kind of most up at that kind of end of the table. And I think at home they'll probably be looking at that going, we need to, if they obviously want to compete, which I think they're more than capable of, they'll need to look at their home form, I think.
Yeah, if you look at their home form, obviously, Shooter will not like me saying it, but obviously Durai went there and won. They got two each, three divisions to a bottom when it was a. You probably look at the stats in that football game, and it was probably 70% Port, but at the end of the day, they either never killed a team off or they didn't do anything. I know they beat Saltcoats, but as you say, Troon are doing okay, but drew with Troon at home, drew with Cumnock at home. Teams that if they want
Probably
to
the
be going
Lithgow
to.
results only the one that they're only kind of home win since maybe about the 13th October, like in terms of the
Yeah,
cup. But league, obviously, that translates to a bit of a struggle.
yeah, Bees obviously 4-3, I think it was. But look, if you look at that result, you think close game, but I'm sure Bees were 4-0 up. I know it was 4-3, but I'm sure so they won away to Rob Roy. I don't know, after that. Is it the home fans? You know what I mean? And the boys struggling to play in front of the home fans, the home fans on their back, and they're no blowing teams out of the water straight away. It'd be interesting to see. I like Stuart, I do.
I like Stuart. Yeah.
I played over 40s with him, and I didn't really like manager against Stuart, to be honest. He always beat me, so but I seen a total different side to him, honestly, at the 40s, and we've a few good chats at the 40s, to be honest, about football, and he likes to play a certain way. We all know that. He likes to play football. He likes to play sort of the right way, I believe, as well. And I think he'll get it right. I hope he gets it right.
I think he will.
But as you say, there is that wee Pollock, and it's a big club. Do they want to be sitting seventh? I know it's games in hand and all that, and you need to see what it is. But he went there. I don't think Pollock have won the league in 10 or 12 years or so. They're a massive club, but that's a long time, though, to sort of collect the big silverware. So sure, obviously got in there. He believes in himself, which he should, and he believes that he's the man to turn it around and bring silver at the park. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, the next four league games are all away from home. That's
So there's 12 points in it, to be
yeah,
honest.
it could
They're
be.
going to get 12 points. So
They play
um,
Clydebank in that as well. I think that could be very interesting. But really exciting game at Gartcairn. Gartcairn 3, Benburb 3. Benburb obviously sat in fourth place on 26 points, and Gartcairn are ninth place on 21. Really exciting game by all reports. I think six different goal scorers, which I always like as well. The goals spread out. And two sides that obviously are very exciting, and just they couldn't put no winner could be picked. I think that's quite good though.
yeah, well, obviously Gartcairn come up, didn't they? And then in that time, if you look at they've made some really good signings throughout
Yeah.
the season. Really good signings. McShane went for Darvo and various bits and pieces, and I think it's just maybe a matter of time now for them that they'll click in and they could go on a wee run. But the Ben's in it, we spoke about it before. He just seems to keep getting results. He just gets results. Some people might not like his style of play, but he's up there. He's fourth in the league. Last year, I think they were maybe close to maybe going down, but I think they ended up winning 5 or 6 of the last 10 games, and they ended up really safe. So, no, it'll be interesting. It's just for the neutral in it, 6 goals, all different goal scorers. I'm sure that a manager gets sent off in the first couple of minutes. I think somebody gets
Possibly.
sent off really early. So that obviously adds its challenges as well. But no, it's good, and it's good to get good goals. That was obviously most high scoring game in the division as well. So if there's a neutral going to take it in, then they'd have been delighted.
They would that. Big result for Largs, 1-2 away to Atherley, Duffy and Sewell with the goals there. And Largs, again, I always say that's about Largs, like you look at them, they're sitting so. I think they're in a solid position in 18 points with 14 games. A big result. They've got the likes of Will Sewell and Darryl Duffy who are going to score goals all the time. I think scoring goals, I think they're more than capable. I just think they'll be looking, thinking, can we maybe know consistency wise, they've only conceded 25, they've scored 24, but there were a lot of tight games, and I think that's a massive result for them.
Yeah, albeit certainly by Affleck, which they were obviously quite close to him previously, and before the game as well. In terms of points, if Affleck had won it, they took the points, maybe only 2 or 3 a difference, but obviously we Lard's going to get the win. But as you said, the firepower is unreal for that level.
Mm-hmm.
The boy Sill's very, very good. Everybody speaks really a high level and scores a lot of goals. As you said, 24 to 25, you're looking at, like, can we tighten up? As you say, can we tighten up? As you say, I don't think they've had many games where they've won like a 3-4-5-0. It's all been 2-1, 4-3, beat Athlone 3-1, 2 each, 2-1. It's like a lot of their games, Ashfield they beat right enough, but a lot of their games seem to be one goal or a goal either way.
Yeah.
Which means they're either always in games, which is good. You have that chance. But in the same respect, you've got no breathing space and you're only 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go. Could be dominating the game, or as it takes you a deflection or a corner and a set piece, and next thing you know, that 3 points is won, and you're back up against it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Final result in that league: Troon 2, Cumnock 2. Again, another good game. Troon in 16 points with 16 games, and Cumnock obviously they've played the most games in the league. They played 18 games and done 24 points. And all reports another good game. Kyle Kilroy scoring a double for Troon. Alan McKenzie and Finlay Fry on the score sheet for Cumnock. Cumnock obviously they've got the points on the board. They've played the game. They've played their game, so that is an advantage as well. I think Troon as well. I do think Troon will be absolutely fine as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, Murdy went into Cumnock, did the change. Obviously, Craig and John Doyle left like, sort of during the season. When you look at them, it's probably inconsistency for them. As you said, 18 games played, but it's 6-1, 6-1, 6 lost. So
Mhm.
where is that? Obviously, Murdy will be doing there. He's trying to get his own players in. Don't know what was Alan McKenzie's first game or whatever, but obviously he scored a goal away to Troon. Another tough place to go at times as well. Lovely big party enough, but tough place to go. Troon fighting away, 2 each. Murdy will be looking at points. I think any of the teams that go away from home and collect points, I think you'll take the result. Obviously, Irvine Meadow at the moment maybe being a wee bit cast adrift at the bottom, and you maybe don't look at that. But I think if you're going to any of them, if you're going away to Clydebank, you got a point, or you're away to Auchinleck, you got a point. You'd be delighted with that. So Murdy's came away 2 each. I'm not quite sure how the scoring went in the game, if they were leading or maybe got one back later on. So he'll take it. He'll dust himself down. He'll get the boys in this week and see who they've got next.
Absolutely. We'll move into the first division, and obviously, again, just another wild week in that league. Petershill 1, Rutherglen 2. Petershill were 1-0 up until the 85th minute, and then a late double from Rowan Fitzpatrick secured a massive away win for Rutherglen. Moved them to within 4 points of Petershill at the top. And Rutherglen again to be 1-0 behind against the league leaders and then beat them, I think, is monumental.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Rutherglen Glencairn are 16, 28, 16, played 16, 28 points, sitting 4 points behind the leaders with 2 in hand. Whether they win the 2, I don't know. Peter Silver seen that Dan Muller left during the week,
He
went
went to
to
Broomhill, yeah.
Broomhill. So Dan obviously brings a lot. They've also got the boy Ross MacKay at the back, who's a powerhouse. I'd imagine Dan for every set piece would have been sort of trying to hit his head, and it could be a wee bit taken away from Peter. I think they played Renfrew last week. I think over the Christmas period. I think they played Renfrew Friday night. I think it was maybe one of the first game backs, and by all accounts, Renfrew were well in the game as well. And that Andrew Skinner scored a penalty just for half time, and then Petershill managed to just sort of escape through. So look, it's a league in it. It's probably 1 to 7th or 8th that can all beat anybody. Johnsonborough went in a wee run and then they fell out it. Drumchapel going a wee run and then they sort of drip out it and then they then go and win games, which is interesting. But it's definitely a tough league.
Yeah.
It's a tough league.
It's
Obviously, it'll be interesting in that league. Very, very interesting. Obviously, everybody had banked on Johnsonborough with their signings, but you don't get nothing for nothing in that league. You need to go and you need to scrap for every 3 points or every point you can get.
Yeah, another big comeback. Shots were 1-0 up against Kilwinning at home, and late goals for Gavin Miller and Graham Boyd secured a 2-1 away win for the Buffs, and they obviously moved now to within a point of Petershill. And again, you're coming from behind. Kilwinning, I've been really impressed with Kilwinning since obviously they had a really difficult start to be where they are. I think it shows you go on a run, pick up, and you can find yourself really challenging.
Yeah, I think if you can go and put like 2, 3, 4 games on a spin in any league, it doesn't matter what league you're in. If you can go and win, you pick 12 out of 12, you'll jump 6 places in the league. They're all quite shots. As you say, we're 1-0 up. I think they've played, probably due to the weather, they've probably played less games than anybody else. They've only seem to play 13, where Renfrew played 20.
Mhm.
7 games of difference, even though the two of them are on same points. There's still going to be big times in that where shots will need to go on a run, or Renfrew will stay sustained, but obviously shots, what it's like up there, innit? It can snow in June, so sometimes their parts, no, their parts are always immaculate, but it's the area they're in rather than the park. It's sort of it makes them fall behind a lot of times. You just wonder 1 year if trying to play catch up all the time is going to come back to bite shots at one point.
Yeah, definitely. Drumchapel won 4-0 at home to St Rochs. Munir, Breen, Hardy, and Dees with a goal. And Drumchapel, Ian was on last week, obviously St Rochs manager, and the one thing he said was Drumchapel have got a lot of firepower, they've got a lot of depth, but it's a very good performance. I heard Drumchapel were very good on Saturday.
Yeah, look, they're another one, aren't they? They sort of are slightly missed out. They're a couple of points off top of the league. They've got games in hand as well. If they turn up, I think between them and Johnson Borough, I think would win the league. Most people's picks. So I think it's hard up at St Roch's at the moment um, for Ian. They seem to sign a lot of players. There seems to be a wee bit of he's trying to get his own way and his own way of playing, and that's the, I wish him and Big Sim were the very best. To be honest, weekend he's up there as well, and he wished him well. I watched him against Johnson Borough. Actually, it was a game he played at Renfrew, and
Mm.
Johnson Borough had long shares of the ball, but they ended up winning 2-1 at the end of the day, Johnson Borough, but it could have went anyway, so they were well in the game, they were still creating chances. But 4-0, as I say, they went. The Drum, it's only 2 clean sheets in that league. If the Drum can use their firepower and keep them out of the other end, they're going to be very, very hard to stop.
Yeah,
Very hard to stop.
absolutely. On our side, that probably fall into that bracket. Johnson Borough 2-1 away win over Blantyre. Simeon and McKinley with the goals. And obviously that means Johnson leapfrog Blantyre above them on goal difference. So again, Johnson Borough, Blantyre have played 18 games, and I think they've been very solid in terms of the way they've just been getting results. I think the next few games are very pivotal. So they host Canvas Lang and then host Ashfield and then away to Kilbirnie in their next 3 league games. They'll be what if they get 9 points for them, I think they're real contention.
Yeah, you would fancy them. I don't mean that disrespectful to the other teams that they're going to play. You would go and fancy them to they turn up to go and win the game. But we Dale's a joy. I worked with Dale at Athlone and he's a joy.
Mhm.
He's a large and life guy, and he works so hard. He works so hard. He works the back line. I was really impressed when I seen Johnson Borough. To be honest, I was impressed. They kept moving the ball. They've got some experience in the right areas. They were missing big players in that day. I think there was no Dorans, no Lafferty. But if they come back as well, only add to them, gets them stronger. John Gibson at Blantyre, he just keeps turning out teams that are hard to beat.
Mhm.
Only a 2-1, probably well in the game. He'll go next week. He'll be the same again. It'll be hard to beat. He might win it 2-1. They've got the 25 to 24 to 29. Obviously, goals wise, so they don't take loads of doings either. They're
Mhm.
competitive. They're in games. They're sitting 29 points. Probably already see they're safe. They
Yeah.
might want to look to push on to go up. But will they be able to overtake some of the other ones? Potentially, you never know. But for the aim, I think Blantyre, it's make sure we don't lose our big players, keep our big players. I'd see if we can add to it next year and they go on a run.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a team that are going under the radar here are Ashfield, a 3-0 away win over Maybole. Sean Slavin with a double. They're on 26 points and they've only played 14 games. I think they're joint top goal scorers in the league along with Drumchapel and Petershill. and they've got the games to make up. And if you go to Maybole and win 3-0, you're well worth that.
Yeah, tough place to go, maybe. They've got a team of normally ex-pros, and they're all disciplined and they know how to play the game. Ashfield, Michael Oliver's went in there's done really well, really well. As you see where they're sitting at the moment, can they go a run, get their points together? They certainly have no issues with scoring goals at all. And once again, they went get a clean sheet. I really like the boy Sinclair. Whose name's Sinclair plays for Ashfield, but he plays at the back. Seems to have a bit about him. Pacey, tall, sort of ticks a lot of boxes. But yeah, I know I don't think he scored that week, but they've obviously got Bobby Barr and people like that are doing well. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see them. I think for every Ashfield fan, they probably just wish they had a home rather than having to travel to Stepford every week and sort of losing their wee bit of identity of their stadium in various bits and pieces. And hopefully, whatever happens with the councils, or they can sort that out, take them back to sort of where they are. But they're certainly right in that promotion chase. People are looking at it in UCA, they're maybe fifth, sixth, or seventh in the league at the moment, with loads and loads of games at hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the story of the league in the past few weeks has been the resurgence of Willet's Victoria since Mark McCann's went in. A 3-1 home win over Neilston. Again, I think that is their third one in a row. Beat Rutherglen, they beat Colwyn, and now they beat Neilston. 9 points for the last 3 games. And Mick McCann is trying. They're now level with Neilston at the bottom of the league, and he'll just want to keep that going. I think that's been a full credit to Mick for the job he's done since he's been in.
Yeah, if you go in there, and obviously they'd no one. They'd also no one in 16 games at that point, 13 defeats and 3 draws. You'd go in there to go and win sort of 3 in a bounce, 9 points. If they were to go and hypothetically win the next 3, I know they've obviously played a lot more than other people, but it's all over. People start looking, going, oh, wait a minute here. But obviously they've played a couple more than sort of up to maybe Cambuslang and even Maybole at the moment. But when teams are winning games and teams are losing games, obviously Cambuslang will come to them. They had a massive one as well. But there's a lot of teams in there that I think big clubs that have been in these leagues are the league above a wee bit more. Will be looking over their shoulder a wee bit at the moment because they probably felt right. It's only 2 going down now, but then you go and win 3 in the bounce, and it sort of brings everybody back in beside you.
Yeah, definitely. Ran through ran through 2, Kilburn 4. Ryan Connolly with a double, Scullion and Lewis the goals for Kilburn. Kilburn been on our side as well. They've been trying to get some wins in the board, and they seem to have kind of picked up the past few weeks actually.
Yeah, they're also a good win because Renfrew are doing well. Renfrew, James just went in there. They obviously Renfrew. If you lose your main goal scorer, and the boy Divers went, who scored a lot of their goals, I know they've got obviously Andrew Skinner coming in for Mary Harlan. They've still got the boy Scott Morton, I believe, as well. I think he actually gets sent off, Scott Morton, but seemed to score goals at that level. But Kilburn, that takes them on to 15 games, which gives them a wee bit of breathing space with a couple of teams below them as well, up onto the 18 points. But if you look at them, they've got sort of a 5 games in hand over Renfrew and only sort of a 6 points behind them. So they pick up a couple of wins, then they can obviously go right up the league as well.
Yeah, absolutely. A big one for Cambuslang. 2-1 home win over Thornawood. Owen McGinty and a late penalty from Armand Delaney. And it takes Cambuslang out of the relegation zone and a huge 3 points. And two sides very similar in terms of kind of league performance so far. And for any of them to beat each other's obviously huge.
Yeah, I think if you look at both of them, it's a great win. Cambuslang obviously minus 14 goals. That's tough at sort of this time of the season. Thornawood seem to lose one, and they're 21 and 21, 21-4, 21 again. So they're not scoring loads of goals, but they're also conceding at the same amount of rate. So look, I've knew David Gormley a long time. He's had a few jobs as well, Gorms, and he's another one that believes football should be played a certain way, in the right way. But I think he's got a massive sort of a 6 months coming up for David and for Cambuslang also. We said that. I actually thought Cambuslang could go down. I did say that. I thought, but there was a lot of we weren't sure what was happening with Paul at the time, and were they going to have money, or who was going to take the manager, and then they sort of swapped over from St Roch's. Some of the St Roch's boys went to Campus Slang, and some of the players followed that have now left as well. So I think if they can try and not want a settled team in it, that's the upshot. Everybody wants a settled team, but no, there's a lot of hard work in that. Like, obviously, three sort of relatively local teams to me in terms of Thornleywood, St Roch, and Westlang, that are all local. Sort of no too far from me, in games that I would go and watch. But they three are sort of they've got a long 6 months, I think, to try and get a wee change of results and sort of try and get up that table.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. Let's move into the second division. Ardrossan won 3-0 against fourth. Aidan Ferris, great and their own goal. Wishing our best to Aidan Ferris and his family. Cumbernauld won 3-2 home to Caledonian Locomotives. Cosyth 4-0 win over Yoker. So top three, Ardrossan obviously look clear at the top. Cumbernauld in second, and Cosyth I've been very impressed with. A trialist with a double as well. So top three all win.
Yeah, top three will win, which is great. Ardrossan seem to be sort of they done this last year. Would it be fantastic for Ardrossan? I would think that would be back-to-back promotions if they can go and continue it. The boy Ferris, really impressed when I seen him against fourth at the start of the year. We ended up fourth, beat them on the day 3-2, I think, but they were 2-0 up, I think, in the game, and they were sort of pushing and be sort of a nick to the sort of smash and grab, even though we were at home, to be honest. But the boy Ferris was decent that day. He plays the line well, he holds it in, he runs well. And their manager, right enough, he doesn't stop shouting. He's worse than Danny Taylor. I don't know how I can even say that, but he's passing him because he's Gavin.
Gavin Giles.
Gavin Giles. He's very passionate, but he's very loud also. But, top three win. Dolce and Nizzy, they're doing well. It's a big job that they had at Cumbernauld. They've got a really good squad. Really good squad. They're going in the right way. They signed Big Burnsy when we played them before. Adam Watson there. They're scoring goals. And they're not really conceding much goals. Caledonia, obviously they beat. Kevin's got them playing really well. Really well. They play good football. They've got a few ex-St Roch players in there that know the league above, which is helping them. Boy Anton Finn was very good today. We played them, and we boy Matty Sutherland, who was at St Roch's at the time. Previously, he was a warrior. Middle to front, I think they're very good. They maybe need some tightening up at the back. In saying that, they've on average near enough 2 goals a game they've lost, so that would maybe ring through a wee bit. But obviously, I don't think they're the greatest of starts either, and then they sort of went a good wee run. But I wish Kevin well, and then Cosyth, trialist for 2 goals. It's manager's dream, isn't it? Bring somebody in. I know they signed obviously Nicky Fraser went there for Clyde, and Big Nick's sort of tweaked his knee a wee bit, so he was. So I don't know if that's why the trialist came in, but they went again and won the game 4-0. Yoker, team that normally scores goals, to be honest, and about it, but interesting, good win for Cosyth. Good for wee Daniel McLean to get a clean sheet. Wee Daniel doesn't get many of them anymore, so I'd like to slack him about that. But good win for the three of them, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Villa Clyde won 1-0 against Bonnet and Sinclair with a goal for them. Tight win for Mary Hill, 3-2 home win over Glasgow Uni. And Muirkirk, 3-0 away win over Wishaw. And that means Villa Clyde and Mary Hill are level on 28 points in 5th and 6th. And Muirkirk, I've been very, very impressed with them. 27 points for 18 games. Really good young side. And I think those three, keep that going. They're more than capable of challenging. I think that could be just as tight in the second division, that kind of promotion.
Yeah, anybody right down to sort of anybody right down to probably Muirkirk at the moment in that league is still sort of in a chance. You're going and winning away from home, you're winning 3-0, but obviously Thomas Sinclair came back to the Vale's massive for them. That's his first goal. He played in the Yoker game that the Vale beat Yoker 2-1, just about sort of a turn of Christmas time as well, and Sinky getting back could be the difference. He scores goals at that league. Also went to Petersilver and he started quite well, and then sort of fell out with it. Wasn't really enjoying it, and back at the Vale. And if they can keep out at the one end, and Sinky's more likely to score sort of maybe 10 goals from out at the end of the season, which could be massive.
Yeah,
that could be absolutely massive for Vale Clyde.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig Mark, 5 goal scorers for them. They won 5-2 against Glasgow Perthshire, and Larkhall won 2-0 away to St Anthony's. And Larkhall are up to 10th in the table, and Craig Mark up to 11th. And their two sides, again, just they've had difficult starts, but they're getting wins on the board now.
Yeah, they're starting, obviously, Larkhall, Brian's in there, and they've had sort of a wee changes. I know St Anthony's, I think Danny's done a fantastic job there, to be honest. I know they brought wee Gio and stuff back from Cumbernauld this year. They've also lost some players, and Danny keeps keen to find them. Gets a new player and new players, and they're normally very hard to beat. It's probably the first time I've seen the Ants maybe no score. But they're normally quite free scoring as well. St Anthony's, but so fair play to Brian. He's went up there with his lap call side. They've kept a clean sheet. They've went on, obviously, Craig Mark sort of had a wee bit of an indifferent start to the season as well, but also a new manager in there now as well. And then, oh boy, at Persia, you know, 1 year they're top of the league, and next year they're fighting relegation. He just keeps not normally gets teams on the park. They're normally very, very hard to beat at Persia. I know they lost 5 goals in that game, but normally this sort of a time of the year when the parts are boggy, I don't think there's many teams that sort of roll their sleeves up and sort of go face to face the way the boys at Perthshire do,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing. Certainly, I'm not meaning that to be disrespectful to Billy or his team at all, but I think it's very important that at this time of the year that you go and win your individual battles. And Perthshire are normally a side that do that, so I hope Billy and that's all right. Obviously, 4 for languishing down there. New manager came in, 11-year Dawson, who's been batting teams, but obviously I've seen today just that um, Gary Stewart's left and went to Bellshill, which is a great signing for Bellshill.
Mhm.
Boys played at a couple of leagues above in that, but both didn't score in that game. Conor McQueen also left, I believe, and went to Go during the transfer window. There seems to be a wee bit of a wee fire sale at the fourth at the moment, which I hope they can sort of stem the tide and maybe try and pick up some points.
Yep, absolutely. Let's look into the third division. Port Glasgow won, Bells Hill nil. Huge win for Port Glasgow. Takes them up to 14th. Obviously, big result for them. Only the second time Bells Hill have been beat. Conor McGee with a goal for Port Glasgow. Massive.
Absolutely massive. But probably Bellshill, the way they've been playing, was my stick on. I really fancied Bellshill. Can't boy I've had a few times now. Kevin Fraser's out there, and he speaks so highly about them. They try and do everything right. Even to the way they travel to away games, it's all they're all in coaches, and they're quite fortunate at that. But I didn't see that result. Did not see that at all. But look, they went away down there, Port Glasgow, obviously on their own part, big Astro. Obviously wanted it more in the day, so Bellshill as well scored a lot of goals as well. Nearly 3 goals on average per game, and then to go and get nothing. So maybe that's why they brought Gary in this week. He'll certainly add firepower to them. But I still think they're maybe just too much for everybody else. Maybe in that league.
Yeah, absolutely. Fanart up to second. They won 1-0 at home to Kello Rovers. Big result. I think really impressive result for three Rovers. 4-0 home to Vela Leven. Doubles from Dylan Kearney and Tam Coles. Fanart in second. I've been really impressed with how they went about it. Three, I think they've picked up massively, and we thought they would.
Yeah, we said that at the start of the year, obviously, for that, first of all. I know Big Don's went there, Don Scott, boy, I had it there Friday. Obviously, a clean sheet for Don, he'll be delighted. The boy Pino, I'm not even going to try and get his whole name, I always knew him as Pino, so I brought Pino into this level, got him originally from Port, 20s or 21s at the time, brought him into the VI Clyde, unfortunately, with the COVID year, and sort of didn't work out, but the boy's got bags of ability. I think he's second or third top goal scorer in that league at the moment
Yeah, I
as
think
well,
it will be.
Pino,
Yeah.
and he's doing really, really well. And we spoke about Thrive at length the last time and just said that the one advantage that Thrive have sort of over everybody else is their players pool's totally different. Their players pool's totally different. The players that they sign, if Thrive sign somebody, it's very, very rare that we've known them. Whereas if a Bellshill sign somebody or Port Glasgow or Fanart or anybody within the leagues, you normally go, oh, he was there and he was here. But when three are bringing boys in for the sort of old south and stuff, then it's hard. You don't really know them. But 4-0, you'll go and take it every day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Greenock 2, Glasgow United 2, only a point separates them, obviously. Glasgow United have played a game less. Big result for Kilsyth Athletic, 3-2 away win over Irvine Vics, Taylor Archibald McFarlane. And Kilsyth, we kind of spoke about this at the start of the season, that Kilsyth and Threave would go on. I think Kilsyth will pick up.
Yeah, I think he really does that. He does it very well. He's another one that we spoke about fellows earlier on. He's a young manager. And he goes and he gets his team going well. And I think obviously they beat fourth in their division above, and they've had a couple of good results in the cup recently where they've not been in waiting disgraced. I think Saturday, I think they'd or the week before, a Premier side, and they ran in very close as well. So yeah, big Astro, he likes to play football. He's got a philosophy, the young man, and they like to adopt that. Sometimes is that work going to all, you know yourself, going to the smaller clubs, and it's a roll your sleeves up. But there's a few good parts in that league as well, which will suit the way that they want to play football, and that'll help. But I think they'll be absolutely fine.
Yep, absolutely. Lanark 2-0 home win over Dalry, Gracie and Watt. And big result for Ardea, 4-1 away win over Les Mahago, takes them up to ninth place. And a huge 3 points for West Park, 2-0 home win over Girvan. Conor McKay with a double for them. Lanark, Ardea, West Park, 3 big wins for them.
Yeah, really big. You obviously you look at the teams down there. Lanark also had to change halfway through the season as well, didn't they? And they're starting to sort of pick up points. They've got some games in hand as well over sort of like up to Irvine Vics and six. They've got 4 games in hand. So if they go and win these games, Graham Gracie scored goals, and I'm sure they call him Chucky. You know what? Um, two boys in that league that will continue to score goals. Also a bad day for the office for Les Mahago, but a great win for Ardea. Sean Kenny and his boys going and winning games.
Yeah.
Like similar to one of the teams in the previous league. He's probably a big thing. Consistency, played 15, won 5, lost 5, drew 5. If they can just sort of turn that round and keep going forward. And then, as you say, the West Park obviously didn't have the greatest of starts. I think the way the sort of St Roch's thing came about and how late it came about. They took the boy from Glasgow Heart, went in there, and obviously they're starting now to pick up some points. Obviously, Carroll look quite adrift at the bottom, but Carroll, I think, drew with Bells Hill the week before. I think Bells Hill were winning the game 3 times, but um, West Park have got a few games in hand to Port Glasgow, but their tails will be up, just went and beat top of the league. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, if they can go on a wee run. Les Mahago maybe looking over their shoulder a little bit. I know they've got games in hand, but it's not a great result at home for them, unfortunately. And I know Robert really well. Robert Irvin's down there and was part of that committee and stuff, and that'd have been a hard one for him to take, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, fourth division, final division we'll talk about. We'll start with Easterhouse, 4-0 home win over Rossvale. Kyle Ross with a hat trick. And I'm going to get your thoughts on Easterhouse, obviously, Mark. They've picked up recently. Big, obviously got a draw away to St Peters, beat Killuke away from home, and then beating Rossvale 4-0, and that's no easy.
No, that's not easy. Northfield were at one point flying high in that league. Um, the boy Andy's went in there. I don't really know him personally. I've heard loads and loads and loads of good things about him. Loads of good things. I think when we coached it and stuff, he was very good. I know he was in helping. He was also at Lanark as a co-manager. He went on to feel like for a wee bit, and he's took Easterus. But that's 3 massive results for them. That's absolutely massive. I watched them against Killuke, and on the day, genuinely, Killuke were a better side. No meaning that to be bad, but 3 points is 3 points. You just go and take 3 points. I'm delighted for Kyle Ross. Kyle Ross has got the potential to have an unbelievable career in this level, or even higher, to be honest. The boy's only 18-year-old. He can play centre half, centre mid, or centre forward. He can play anywhere down the middle. His football brain, football intelligence is very good. I'm delighted for Kyle, absolutely delighted. Big Jai Baxter would have probably been in goals. Jai, a boy I had, and he went to Shettleston and back. And I'm delighted for him to get a clean sheet. Absolutely delighted. He gave away a penalty in the Killuke game, and he would have got a clean sheet then as well.
Yeah, no, it's big result for Easterhouse. Glenvale obviously keep the run going. 6-0 away win over New Mains. Brian Connor with a hat trick. and Thorn are on their tails as well. They obviously beat St Peter's 3-0. Cannon, Armstrong, McKellar. Glenvale have been absolutely flying, and Thorn are obviously sitting in second, and they top two. They look very good.
Yeah, the Glenfield go and win the game. I think the game was done within, no disrespect to Davy Menelaus at me, New Mains, but I think it was done within the first 10-15 minutes. I think they were 3 or 4 nil up, I think, quite early on in the game. I think it was sort of done quite early. But Glenville, good attitude. They went and done it properly. They went and won the game. Obviously top of the league and there to be shot at, but Thorn's an interesting one. Obviously, they had a wee change of manager. Barry's now at Giffnock, I believe, which is, I think Neil do well because I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
But the boy Cammy Armstrong at Thorn is really good. Boy centre forward boy, in my opinion, I've said this, he's too good for that level, and that's no disrespect to them. I was really, really impressed when we played Thorn before, and he's one I have kept my eye on to watch and see where he goes. And if anybody asked me about that division, unfortunately, Thorn might not want to hear this, but if anybody asked me for a centre forward or anything, it's as one that I point in their direction. I'm really impressed with the boy. Really, really impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Big result for BSC, 5-2 away win over Carluke. Melvin, Niam with doubles and Irvin with other goal as well. And a big away win for East Kilbride Thistle, 3-2 away to Eglinton. I've spoken to a couple of people with that game. They said Eglinton were very, very good and were unlucky, but East Kilbride obviously had a really, really good result. So BSC and East Kilbride Thistle. East Kilbride Thistle up to 6th in the table on 32 points. BSC actually 8th place, 24. They're two sides that are potentially as well just flying under the radar.
They're another one. If you look at BSC, they've actually only played 13 games.
Yeah.
So they've only actually lost 3 out of 13, which is, in any stretch of imagination, is fantastic, to be honest. A bit probably worrying. I spoke to Thomas at length, who's new obviously at Killook. I've spoken to him a few times, and I think they signed another couple of players, and they brought in the boy Gavin Goodall, and they brought in someone else during the week, and Gavin's played at a good level and he'll score goals. But speaking to Thomas, it's a whole change for them. The sort of I'll put it out there. I know Thomas won't, so there was no way that Thomas was sort of a left fourth because that was in the background or anything. That if you look at that wasn't the case. He was going to take a break and an opportunity come up that he's seen, which was sort of too good at that time to turn down. Look, now a licensed club, chance of playing the Big Scottish, sort of out for that area. Obviously the original coaching team were going to stay, and then I seen this week that sort of a change and the coaching team moved on. So it'll take maybe a week or couple of weeks maybe just for them to try and get it back to normal. But Killick will do well. Thomas will do well. They're one of the hardest working people I know in football, and he'll be on the phone every night trying to get players in and try to fix sort of where he's seen wrong. So I watched them against East Strauss, and as I say, they probably should have won the game. But unfortunately, people pick up a newspaper or the SM media on a Saturday night and they look and it says Killick 1 or East Rouse 2, or it will say Killick 2, BSC 5. They don't see, obviously, some of the other things, but I hope and wish Thomas all the very best, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a wee bit of a resurgence going on at Saltcoats. 4-0 they won at home to Campbelltown. Obviously, Stephen Wilson's been in there. It was formerly at Port Glasgow. And that moves them off bottom of the table. And I do think they've got the right man in there.
Yeah, Stevens, somebody I know, I've came up against him a few times. He was at Ardrossan previous to that as well. I think there was a wee bit of debate when he went in originally. I don't think the players in that were happy, and a couple of times didn't go well, and it took him a couple of weeks, and then he went and got sort of a great result on it, clean sheet down there. So Coach lost sort of a 73 goals in 17 games to go and get a clean sheet. He'll be delighted with that, but to score 4 goals, that's what we want. You want a wee fresh start. Let's happen. Let's draw a line in the sand. New year, sort of let's kick on, and he'll do well. He's always had teams that are sort of that are well run, and sort of like he seems to favour that sort of Ayrshire than the sort of there. So I wish him well, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And a team that seem to have kind of picked up in terms of their kind of media and well. So good luck to them. I hope everything goes well for them. Final result: Royal Albert 1, Giffnock 1. Royal Albert again, just obviously they're a rebuild job. Giffnock, I'm really excited with Barry going in there. I think he's been in. They're in a really good position as well, and I think Barry's going to help them. And I think these are two sides that are going places.
Yeah, Royal Albert probably too late this year, I think. But
Yeah,
obviously everybody went in and seen what had happened. I think they'd no won in so many games or so, and then they've won maybe the last 3 or 4. Good point to give, Nick. I know Royal Albert might not look at that, but good point. I know obviously the big game's coming up, Royal Albert v Lanark, that was cancelled. It's basically the Saturday team v the Sunday team. It's sort of a Les Mahego, which will be really interesting. But a lot of good players that Royal Albert have got. They've brought a lot of good players in. The boys will maybe take a couple of weeks now just to adjust, and they'll get that. They'll see that there's some good quality in that league. It's not just all sort of, it's the bottom league. There's some really, really good players at all the clubs. Been impressed with some new mains that I've seen, some Eglinton and BSE we played with Fourth, and I know some of the other boys at East Kilbride and WOSFL and St Peters and stuff. So there's a lot of good players in that league as well. So Albert, take a wee bit of time. They're on the right trajectory. They'll no finish anywhere bottom. I wouldn't even be surprised if they end up in the top 10, top 7 in that league. I think they will go on a good run, and I think they could be obviously a team to look out for next year, to be honest, in that league. Similar to what we spoke about, like obviously in the Premier, if they sort of just decided, right, we're going to go down, we'll build for next year, and I think that's sort of what Royal Albert will be doing, and maybe even its all coach as well, because of the starts they had. I think all your planning now will be like, let's see how much points we can get on the board, and then from that, right, let's see if we can go and kick on next year and see what we can bring in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this weekend might be a bit different in terms of the weather. I've been told that the weather is going to get, well, it's ridiculous now in terms of the cold, but I think it could get even worse over the course of the week. So, weather permitting, I think there's some tasty games on next week as well. So, I think we're in for an exciting week should the weather hold up, which again, it's Scotland. I doubt it very much, but we're getting to that stage now this season, Mark, before we wrap up, where games are going to be so important. Every game's going to be massive. Every fixture, a lot of games are going to be getting played in midweek. So we're in for a really exciting kind of next half of the season.
Yeah, I think if you're any club within the leagues, and you can see it yourself, there is some travelling to be done. And look, we all do this and involved in that level. We're all sort of a semi-professional part-time, whatever you want to call us, and we've all got day jobs. So I think if anybody can get a run together at this time of the year, when games are sort of, if you have got an Astro, I obviously Killook actually changed their game last week. It was meant to be away from home and reverse the fixture. I'm sure Clyde done the same. The week before, we try to do it with Fourth the week before, try to get games on, because we want to play on Saturdays, don't we? But if you look at, I've always said that, like, sort of the big league takes a winter break, and at that time you want the games on, because the attendances go up. I think Paul could 800 and something on Saturday. That's far superior to some of the teams in League One and League Two.
Yeah.
So they deserve that, maybe even above, maybe touching on some of the teams above. So the league is very well sort of a supported still, which is fantastic. But you want games on. If you can get a run of games now, as I say, I think the weather has to be quite bad. Some of the Astros might be lucky. I think it's got a chance of a wee bit of a thaw on Saturday or Friday night into Saturday morning, depends how early they call them. But as you say, if you can get a wee run of games now, play when teams aren't playing and you get them when they've not played for 2 or 3 weeks, you can pick up a wee 3 points where you're maybe not expecting it as well.
No, absolutely. And I think that it's going to be a really exciting second half of the season. And Mark, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. Best of luck. And hopefully we'll see you back in the game soon. I've really enjoyed you being on, mate. Thank you very much.
No bother, very welcome. Hopefully back soon.
Brilliant. Thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. If you're looking for more West of Scotland content, then subscribe to our Patreon channel. And as always, follow us on social media. Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you soon.